Hey guys, it's Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter for the Wrestling Mayhem Show and the Mayhem Minute. Hey, there's more news from Global Force Wrestling. It's starting to take shape. We're starting to get a little more for answers going on, and we're going to look into all that. But first, please check out our friends PittsburghWrestling.com. We got new releases, including the Super Size Super Road to Super Indie, The Dance with Tommy Dreamer, yes, that guy. He's the champion right now in the IWC against Dalton Castle, making his moves over on Ring of Honor. RJ City, another up-and-comer you should be paying attention to. And Justin LaBar of Chairshot Reality? Yes, we got to watch it. You got to find out what's going on there. $9.99 for just the match itself. If you just want to see what the heck happened, PittsburghWrestling.com. And also our friend SliceOnBroadway.com, BoldPittsburgh.com. And so, speaking of Justin LaBar, who frequently writes and contributes Chairshot Reality for WrestleZone.com, via WrestleZone, which is actually via the Wrestle Observer, Wrestling Observer newsletter. So kind of like Global Force Wrestling, we've talked about before about the roster reveal, what they have so far, about this TV thing, and there's some surprise people kind of popping up on there. For instance, they're saying TNA Ring of Honor won't allow contracted talent to work for GFW, Global Force Wrestling, but ROH gave permission for the live events only. Curious. So you're going to let them on TV, but not other things for Global Force Wrestling. It's very strange, but I don't know. It's interesting, and then other ones are popping up as part of the roster as that they can work live events or shows as long as it's not televised, which is kind of been a kind of depending, like there's been versions of that role going around the indies for TNA and ROH for a while. Also, Jeff Jarrett is working out a TV deal, signing more talent. He's reportedly in early talks with Spike, CMT, Fox Sports, and WGN about possible deals. Now, they have the first three of their tapings scheduled, but no TV. This is an interesting bet. I know you kind of got to get TV to do this, and it's going to be, I think, fairly delayed by the time it gets on. Probably, maybe. You don't know at what state they are with these deals, how much of a sure thing is it they're going to get these deals. And there's also word in the negotiations that Jim Ross may join them, and he was a part with Matt Stryker of the Wrestle Kingdom show, and I think that would add a lot of legitimacy. I think some people will tune in just to hear Jim Ross call wrestling again, and good wrestling. Right? That roster is killer. I know we've kind of said, it doesn't really, that roster doesn't really do anything for me, right? It's a bunch of good talent. It seriously is. Lance Hoyt, who's been doing some stuff with Inspire Pro Wrestling with our buddy Eamon down there in Texas, and has been killing it around the world with Davey Boy Smith Jr., And I think it'll be great to see them on that big audience, on that big stage. They're been Ring of Honor doing great things, popping in, and I like to see that. So it's taken shape. I think we're in the spot with Global Force Wrestling where it's where we wanted TNA when they were starting to get deals, when they were on Fox Sports, then Spike TV, and we're like, yes, they're coming up. Yes, it's something different. Yes, it's an upstart. Yes, they're going to take it on. Yes, I have an alternative to wrestling. But the problem is the field is so crowded now. So what is Global Force? I'm not seeing what Global Force is going to do to make them stand out from even Ring of Honor. If they're just Ring of Honor Part 2, what's that going to do for you? Again, after we see the TV, after we see what's going on, maybe there's something about their storytelling. Maybe there's something about their presentation that's going to stick out. That's going to be like, oh, I got to check that out, But I think today you need something game-changing like Lucha Underground that takes a different perspective and attacks that and owns that. And I don't know what Global Force Wrestling can do. I'm hoping they become something like, people are very excited about this Lucha Trios tournament, World Cup, whatever you call it, that's happening on iPay-per-view. I talked about on a previous episode here. And if they can really take that on and make people care about this international talent that is a true alternative, an established alternative all around the world, but can they make people care more than us marks on the internet? Let me know your thoughts on Global Force Wrestling thus far at Mayhem Show, or wherever you might find this on video on Facebook or YouTube or whatever other platform that you can comment back at us on. Please subscribe. Mayhem Minute is now popping up on Stitcher and iTunes. You can get that daily feed as you're jogging. Hi, Dan Hooven. I'm just going to shout him out on every show and see which ones he responds to. He joined us. He's a photographer for the International Wrestling Cartel and joined us on the Wrestling Mayhem show this week and find out why he loves Ryback so much. All of that, so much more going on. WrestlingMayhemShow.com. So many shows, entire page full of stuff, so much content. Guys are wrapping up all the SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground with the Midweek War. Raw wrap up this week. Indie Mayhem show with one of those guys you just saw on SmackDown last night on Tough Enough, Darren DeNiro. Or Darren Lyles, as he's listed real name on the website. Had him here in studio talking about that, talking about his experience with Tough Enough, talking about being under a year as a wrestler and getting so many great opportunities. He's going to London. Good for him. We'll see you guys next time. A full slate of Mayhem Minutes and other podcasts coming up on, starting Monday. Later. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.